My precious child, listen now, before another moment slips away, for what I am about to reveal will change the course of your life forever. A verdict has been declared in the courts of heaven, and the scales of justice are tipping in your favor. But this declaration must not be merely heard. It must be acted upon this very hour. Will you remain bound by the chains of yesterday's wounds, or will you rise now to claim the freedom and inheritance I have already secured for you? Stay with me till the end, and discover the one truth no power on earth can undo. Your time to walk in victory is right now. There was a time when I withheld this judgment, extending my grace toward the other party so they might awaken, acknowledge their wrongdoing, and return in sincere repentance. I waited patiently, knocking on the door of their heart over and over again through gentle nudges and subtle warnings. Yet as I observe how pride still hardens them, how they continue to reject the light and cling to deception, I cannot delay this decision any longer. My silence was never tolerance. My mercy is not endless indulgence. Therefore, on this day from heaven's incorruptible courts, I am issuing a verdict that impacts both their destiny and the road you must now walk. My dear one, this judgment does not spring from vengeance. It is a release. It comes like a righteous sword, cutting through invisible bonds that have tied you to twisted relationships, ongoing distress, and unseen sorrow. I am lifting from your shoulders the weight you've carried for so long. I am freeing you from the emotional responsibility you have borne for years. This is the hour of your liberation from the confusion that has blurred loyalty and pain, genuine love and hidden exploitation. My verdict not only concludes a chapter but ushers in a new season, one where you are no longer shaped by another's wrongs, but by what I am making right. I am restoring you to your rightful place as a carrier of light with a divine mission that no one can revoke. Though they have chosen not to walk beside you any longer, you lose nothing in me. In fact, you draw closer than ever to the wholeness I intended for you from the beginning. Remember this, I remain the God of justice. You need not witness their outcome to feel vindicated, for I will not let injustice persist without end. They will face the truth. They will encounter the light they once tried to avoid. But that is no longer your burden to bear. Let them go fully into my hands, as you have tried so often before. Yet this time, truly release them to me. You no longer need to protect what I am judging or defend what I am removing. I will not remain silent. I have witnessed the pride, the arrogance that erects a wall against truth's light. Though I knocked repeatedly, whispered gently, and sent signs of mercy to prompt them to repent, they have chosen to reject it. They have turned not only from my words, but from the path of life I set before them, clinging instead to prideful defiance. Their hearts remain closed to my gracious offer. Hence, I deliver a holy judgment from my throne, a verdict unmoved by emotion, unshaken by circumstance, founded fully in truth and perfect justice. This is not wrath-fueled punishment, but the rightful outcome of their repeated choice. They did not choose repentance. They did not choose humility or true love. Instead, they built a path on pride and unyielding ego, and now they must follow it to its end, a confrontation with the consequences they refuse to acknowledge. My child, I understand the hope that once filled your heart. You prayed that love would triumph, forgiveness would soften their heart, and that they would come back to you in true repentance. I have seen how your tears fell in earnest prayer, how you begged me for more time, pleading for them to see the light. I granted you that request. I delayed my judgment out of love and because of your appeals. However, as the appointed time of grace draws to completion and they continually turn a deaf ear to every divine appeal, I cannot permit righteousness to be mocked any longer. The verdict stands. They will harvest what they have sown. Deeds done in the secret darkness will be brought into the light. The lies they spun to shield their wrongdoings will be exposed for what they truly are. Their manipulations, disguised as affection, will be openly revealed. They cannot outrun the truth or escape justice. Beloved one, bitterness does not drive this judgment. I am not seeking revenge, and neither should you. Release any desire for retaliation so that I may act in fullness. Everything I do is for your good, and yes, even for theirs. If in their hardship they finally repent, there can still be redemption, even at this late hour. But if they keep resisting, my justice will defend those who belong to me against continual mistreatment and unfairness. Lift your eyes forward, no longer lingering in regret. Stop trying to decipher their decisions or blaming yourself for loving too deeply. Mourn no more over the response that never came. You did the right thing. You loved as I love. Their reaction is not a reflection of your worth, but of their own choices and inner heart. My precious one, as you receive these words, I beg you to rest in peace. Do not let sorrow weigh upon your spirit, dimming your inner light. I know how tender-hearted you are, how your compassion extends even to those who inflicted hurt upon you. Your pain is not solely about your suffering, but also about what they must now face. I know this because your heart mirrors my own, a heart that always hopes for the best, believes in transformation, and forgives freely. Remember that I am God, the flawless judge, who never reacts in haste or from human emotions. All I do aligns with eternal truth and unwavering love. When I proclaim a verdict like today's, recognize that it is not just punishment, but the merciful intervention of my hand upon a wayward course. I am indeed the judge, but also the redeemer. I take no pleasure in condemnation. I do not celebrate the bitterness of consequences. But genuine love cannot silently watch a soul drift into ruin. So please, do not think of this as a cold sentence. It is the voice of a loving Father correcting those he deeply cherishes. Though such correction may cause a momentary sting, it arises from a love that refuses to let deception become any soul's permanent fate. I know you always desired good for them. You interceded on their behalf, sacrificed your comfort, and quietly endured so they might be awakened to truth. Yet sometimes I must intervene, not to punish, but to rouse them from slumber, to disrupt the deceptive security they built, and to ensure they no longer confuse my silence with approval. I must confront them with the truth so they can no longer hide behind illusions. I do not stand passively by when a soul is lost. My discipline aims not at vengeance, but at restoration, showing how deep my mercy goes. A soul is truly abandoned only when there is no one left who cares. But when I take action, even through distress, it is indisputable proof of my enduring love. My judgment today is not a final condemnation, but a definitive call wrapped in love. Come back. If they respond with humility, acknowledging that I am unveiling truth to heal rather than shame them, redemption remains possible. I can open doors man has shut and rekindle fires in the coldest hearts. They must choose, bow, and surrender the false identities they've built around themselves. If they do, my arms will receive them in genuine forgiveness. But if pride keeps them unyielding, my child, I cannot let what injures you go unchecked. My righteousness is not fueled by rage, but anchored in truth. And truth does not bend just to spare someone's feeling. A divine light shines upon everything, compelling each person to embrace transformation or to turn aside, bearing the natural result of their choice. I understand these words weigh heavily on you. Deep within, you still long for them to do better. I urge you to keep loving, but do not let love become a chain that holds you back. Continue praying, yet lay aside the burden of changing their heart. That is my role, not yours. Remain forgiving, but do not return to the source of your pain. True forgiveness hands me the authority to judge while you claim your right to be free. Place your heart at peace. I am not only acting on their behalf, but also on yours. I am declaring a close to a dark chapter so you can enter a new one, unburdened, forward-facing, renewed in faith. I have witnessed your faithfulness. You never gave up. Hence, not only have I pronounced judgment on them, but I speak a blessing over you. Rest, growth, and goodness anchored in righteousness. You are no victim of defeat. You are a conqueror. You stand as living proof that my life triumphs over every hurt. When darkness enclosed you, you did not forsake the light. Now I will guide you into fresh territory, one untainted by distortions of love, unbroken by abuse, and free of the struggle to be truly seen. Take refuge in my peace. Trust my wisdom. Let my correction work in their life, and press onward, my beloved. Ahead of you awaits what I have carefully prepared: a beauty renewed, a life revitalized, and a light that no darkness can snuff out. I am the righteous one, the good Father, and I will never abandon you. I have given abundant time to those who caused your pain, those who strayed far, offering countless opportunities for them to cease, turn back, and walk the path of repentance. I never compel or force. My desire has always been for them to see their wrongdoing, not out of shame, but through a heartfelt awakening. True love longs for a voluntary return, prompted by conviction rather than fear or punishment. That is why I did not rush to judge. I offered them time to come back willingly, understanding their errors and truly seeking to live uprightly. Tragically, some will reject every invitation, forgetting the worth of repentance because they've lost sight of truth itself. With all remaining chances exhausted and each invitation unanswered, I must now act according to my righteous nature. Let this not crush your spirit. I understand how you prayed, how you wished I would grant more time. I heard you and did so, but ultimately, they were the ones who shut the door, not I. Keep your heart free from grudges. Let no bitterness sprout in your soul. Keep loving as I do, even if love now requires stepping away physically and letting go spiritually. You do not need to fix what only I can reach. The judgment I announce today is not meant to ruin them. It springs from a love that persists even for souls lost in the shadows. What I do will not annihilate their life, but break the unseen chains of pride, illusion, self-dependence, refusal to own up to their actions, and rejection of my true light. My judgment will not crush them, but crack the hardened shell that has numbed them to my gentle spirit. Child, if I do not intervene, they will wander further into their tangled web of deception, slipping farther from the wellspring of life. It is exactly because of love that I must permit them to face the reality they have long evaded. They will enter a period of trial that is neither blind punishment nor meaningless suffering, but a purposeful cleansing. Layers of pretense and self-serving justifications will fall away. They will be left exposed to the light of truth, not to humiliate, but to bring healing. A wound concealed never heals. It rots beneath the surface. Pride, like thick calluses, keeps them from feeling their own spiritual injuries. This difficult passage will strip away those calluses so they may finally see the wound within, one I have seen all along. I love them too much to allow them to keep skating on the surface, oblivious to the real weight of their own deeds. Their eyes must open to this gravity, not as lasting disgrace, but so they can genuinely bow before me and be transformed. Destructive shame is never my will, but the discomfort that comes from confronting the light can spark true, deep change. Once a person grasps how far they have wandered, they can earnestly seek the way back. Authentic restoration demands heartfelt repentance. My forgiveness is always near, but the door to receive it opens only with the key of humility. If people see no fault in themselves, they cannot heal. If they deem themselves beyond the need to change, they remain trapped. I will shine truth into their life, not with angry words, but with situations that force them to stop and look inward. They will experience loss and loneliness, and face a silence they cannot mask with false cheer. In that silent void, my voice will enter, soft yet unmistakable, announcing that I am still near, that my love is real. My dear child, I know your heart aches for them too. Your heart is always tender, hoping for the good of even those who wounded you. You have persistently prayed for their pardon. You have given more than others realize and endured a pain deeper than words. I treasure your resilience. You reflect my own heart in your unwillingness to surrender easily. But now I call you to entrust me with what only I can accomplish. You are not bound by their choices. You have completed your part with sincerity. It is my turn to work. Let your heart rest. Do not let it be weighed down by burdens that are no longer yours. I am working not just in them but in you. I am opening a new page for you, a realm where love isn't exploited, where loyalty meets true worth, and where clarity and peace guide your steps. Should they return one day, humbled and honestly repentant, I will still be here, ever ready to forgive and mend. The door never closes to anyone who bows in truth. However, that is between them and me. You must move forward. Believe. Step boldly into the place I am revealing, for I have seen your commitment and I draw near with your reward. You are my beloved, and your devotion is not forgotten. As you emerge from the painful shadows, do not completely shut your heart to those who caused you to bleed. Even if they chose another path and mishandled the love you freely gave, I am summoning you to an even deeper forgiveness. One that not only lets go, but dares to pray earnestly for the very people who inflicted harm. I realize how difficult this is. I see your scars, your lingering memories, your unanswered questions. I don't ask you to disregard your pain, but to offer it as a sacred form of intercession. In your weak moments, I will give you my strength. Each time you whisper a prayer for them, let it arise not from forced politeness, but from genuine love that transcends hurt. I see a new seed of hope taking root in these prayers. Pray for them, my child, because what is coming will not be easy for them. Truth's light, once unleashed, illuminates every corner. They must face themselves, confront truths they once denied, and shoulder the results of every misguided act. It will be painful, a season of abrupt dismantling. But I do not permit suffering just to harm. I allow it so they may at last stand on solid ground. Ask that they find courage instead of evasion, that they face the reality they have tried to escape, that they avoid placing blame elsewhere, that they reject the urge to mute their conscience. Pray that their eyes will finally see who they are, not merely as those who have failed, but as people in dire need of redemption and love that transforms. A sincere reckoning with self is the first milestone on the road back. Understand how potent your prayers are. Every cry lifted in the quiet of your weary nights rises to heaven like treasured incense. It is the intercession of wounded hearts still choosing to pray that stirs heaven deeply. I don't just listen, I respond, because you have not turned your pain into a weapon, but surrendered it as a humble sacrifice. In doing so, your prayers become seeds that will blossom in unseen ways. You may not witness any rapid change in them, but rest assured, each phrase spoken in genuine faith affects the spiritual realm mightily. I use your prayers as softening water droplets that seep into the stone of their soul, gradually breaking apart layers of pride. Continue praying with a heart that is free from grudges, not with the intent to force change, but to extend a precious gift, hope. You cannot walk their repentance journey on their behalf, but you can clear the way by lifting them before my throne. You cannot make their choices for them, yet you can offer their names to the Creator with unwavering trust, certain that I will do what is needed for their souls. While you do this, you yourself will be healed. Praying for those who hurt you is a clear sign you are no longer a prisoner of the past, but are living in genuine freedom. Real freedom does not mean forgetting what happened. It means refusing to let past harm rule you. And as you pray, a path opens up not just for them, but for your own soul, bringing calm, clarity, and a fresh closeness with my heart. I know you don't always have the strength to pray for them. At times your heart is so worn that you want to erase every memory. I see and understand this. Even a single whisper, "God have mercy on them," burns brightly in the gloom. I multiply that short plea, pouring it out in action for both your restoration and theirs. So persist. Do not fear your own exhaustion. Every word you utter in faith reverberates in the heavens. Keep pouring out love in prayer, letting those prayers become a conduit between failure and restoration. Allow me to use your voice like a cleansing stream, washing away the deceit that darkens their soul. One day you will see the fruit. It may not arrive in the form or time you imagine, but you will realize I wasted none of your petition. You will watch me transform pain into brand new life. Your rejoicing won't only be because they changed, but because you chose not to let sorrow quench the light I ignited within you. You were chosen to bring love into darkness, and I, the one who hears, will act for the sake of love, for the sake of justice, and in answer to your heartfelt prayers. You were never called to bear the burdens of others' choices or the outcome of their deceit, indifference, or betrayal. The love you gave, even if it was mishandled, remains a sacred overflow of the life I pour into you. I have seen you love without hesitation, without seeking anything in return. You opened your heart, risking pain, and that is a glowing reflection of my own heart. Not a single instance of your loving or sacrificing has escaped my notice. Your decision to love unconditionally reveals my image in you. But please remember, do not let anyone's dishonesty, lack of love, or hardness of heart cause you to doubt the flame I have lit within you. Do not allow the wounds they inflicted to make you question your worth. Your identity does not depend on how others respond, but on the one who breathed life into you from the start. Even if they turn away from your light, the light I have placed within you does not diminish. Rejection often makes your light shine clearer, for it is not sustained by applause, but by my constant presence. Let the past remain where it is. It may have brought tears, but it holds no power to stop you from entering the glorious future I have planned. Resist clinging to what is already finished, for you may overlook the new doors I am unlocking for you. You do not need to resurrect what I have allowed to end. Holding on only delays the beginnings I am unfolding. Observe the new doors I am setting before you. Open not by your persistent knocking, but by my sovereign key. These are doors leading to healing, where old wounds stop bleeding and instead serve as signs of restoration. They open pathways to thorough redemption, where everything lost will be restored in abundance, surpassing anything you expected. Above all, I am leading you to a place of joy. A joy not founded on ideal circumstances, but in the certain knowledge that you are cherished, chosen, and sustained by my unwavering hand. So enter freely, my child, without hesitation or doubt or glancing backward. Approach as the rightful heir of every promise. Come with watchful eyes, a trusting heart, and open hands, ready to receive my gifts. This is not a prize for your perfection. It is the harvest of your faithfulness. I witnessed you obey in hardship and cling to integrity when falsehoods loomed. Because of that, I am filling your life with blessings no one can take. Do not be afraid of what lies ahead. You are not alone. Each step you take resonates with my voice, reminding you, I am with you. Even in strange places, I guide. When you feel weak, I am your power. When everything quiets around you, I continue speaking in the depth of your heart. You don't have to grasp the whole picture to keep moving. Just trust me. As you walk in trust, doors won't merely open for you, but for those I bring alongside you. My child, you are not defined by someone else's wrong decisions, nor confined by the rejection you faced, nor labeled by your injuries. You are anchored in the reality of being my beloved, redeemed, entrusted, forgiven, and assigned a vital purpose. As the old season draws to its finale, step with confidence into the new season, certain that you belong to an unshakable kingdom. I wait there for you, determined to fulfill everything I have promised. Walk forward with lifted head, heart open wide, eyes locked on the light. Leave the past behind. Let every hurtful word fade away in the truth I speak over you. Release what no longer suits you. What I am renewing in you is untouchable, and what I reveal through you will inspire even your own amazement. My beloved child, do you realize that each time I look at you, my heart overflows with a holy delight that human words cannot contain? I am proud of you, not because you have never stumbled, but because you continued faithfully when giving up would have been easier. I have watched your journey through challenges. You did not merely tread upon fiery coals, but held tight to the truth, refusing to let go of the light I planted in you. You walked through a fire meant to refine, not destroy, and I never left you there alone. Just as I stood with 3 faithful youths in a furnace ages ago. Though flames brought pain, they could not consume the essence I imparted. They only removed what did not belong. broken attachments, false ideals, misguided longings, and lingering hurts. When the flame subsided, you stood as refined gold, unscorched, more radiant, more precious, and far stronger than before. You have tasted betrayal, one of the deepest sorrows a heart can bear. I know that sting intimately. Those most loved once turned on me as well. I know the anguish of offering your heart only to be treated like a stranger. Yet in that moment, you grew more like me. Bitterness never took root. You continued to love, not because they deserved it, but because you refused to cave to resentment. More importantly, even as your heart bled, you would not let it harden. You did not build walls or abandon your capacity for feeling. Instead, you kept your heart open, ready to sense the pain of others, steadfast in believing love is still worth the risk. That courage is not your own doing. It is the unmistakable sign that my spirit lives and thrives within you. My spirit breathes life, shines wisdom, and wields the power of restoration. When you were fatigued beyond bearing, it was my spirit who upheld you. When you collapsed, he lifted you. When all else was silent, he spoke quietly to your heart. In those times you felt you had no strength left but still persisted. That was my spirit carrying you. I saw your lonely nights, your quiet tears, your heartache unspoken by words. Yet you were never alone. I collected every tear, heard every groan hidden beneath your breath, and at the moment you attempted to raise your head, despite feeling crushed, I took note in heaven's record as a moment of extraordinary triumph. You are no mere victim. You are an overcomer, not because you conquered others, but because your circumstances never conquered your soul. You fought exhaustion, discouragement, and every lie that accused you of inadequacy. This is a triumph more significant than any earthly crown. It may not echo in human halls, but it resonates through eternity, where I dwell and call you one of my anointed ones, with a divine mandate. I see how far you have come. Nothing is overlooked. Now, stepping out from this old, painful season, I see not just scars but resilience. I see not just what was taken, but the greater capacity your heart has grown to hold. I see the possibility of a new dawn, where it once seemed all was lost beyond repair. Guard the purity of your heart. Let not this world tarnish the innocence I preserved in you. Keep faith, love, and forward motion alive. Remember, each step now is not only for you, but also a guiding sign to others who watch. Your story will heal many. Many lost souls will find their path illuminated by the light you carry. This is why I never let destruction take you. You are the vessel I have chosen to bring light where darkness once prevailed. Dearest child, know this deeply. I am proud of you, not for never falling, but for rising every time you fell. Not because you never wept, but because you kept reaching out to me through your tears. Not for your worldly strength, but for surrendering to my power in your weakness. Such is true power, genuine beauty, the glory I now unveil within you. A splendor that endures, cannot be stolen, and cannot be hidden. My love for you is everlasting. I am guiding you toward the future I have promised. A place where righteousness flourishes, joy multiplies, and you recognize in your core that your past trials and losses were never meaningless. For I, the one who commenced this good work in you, will not cease until it shines in its fullness. This very moment marks the start of that unfolding because you are the one I hold close, the one upon whom my heart rests with delight. Having walked through your refining, having seen the old door close and a fresh dawn brighten the horizon of your spirit, I summon you now to enter a new era with deep conviction and holy boldness. Not the pride of the flesh, but the assured posture of one guarded, set apart, and sealed by me, the eternal Creator, who claims you as his own. From this day on, I appoint you. Walk as one established by heaven. Raise your shoulders, lift your head high, fix your eyes on what lies ahead. No longer slump in shame or glance back in regret. Yes, I myself am your guardian. A blazing wall of fire protecting you day and night. A mighty shield countering every poisonous dart the enemy fires. You do not walk alone, nor do you fight by your own strength. Angels march beside your every step, My Spirit breathes life into every word you speak. Each action you undertake in my name bears divine gravity that no force on earth can counter. For when I speak, the skies bow, the stars hush, and the earth trembles in expectancy of my decree. My child, nothing I say drops into emptiness. Every promise over your life is an eternal covenant, written by my power. They are not whimsical wishes, but certainties I ordained long before you first cried. Now I will make them visible, each in its proper time, without fail. No scheme of the enemy, no global shift, no hidden slander can deter these promises when you stand under my protection. I do not merely shield with mercy, I defend you with unbreakable justice. I do not just stand by in tenderness, I fight for you with incomparable might. All the slanderous words, belittling stares, and double-tongued accusations that once condemned you for wrongs never yours to bear, these will come under the light of truth. I will place words of heavenly wisdom in your mouth, so you will no longer endure in silence. You will speak out, not with rage but with authority, to dismantle every false verdict spoken over you. You will do this not to justify yourself, but to testify to my ongoing work in your life. Each word, guided by my Spirit, will pierce the gloom, carving a pathway for truth to shine. Such is the inheritance I bequeath to my own unwavering servants, fearless sons and daughters, souls who do not bow to the shadows but remain resolute in the light. This privilege belongs not to the masses, but to those who refuse to abandon hope in despair, who were not submerged by disappointment, and who refuse to let betrayal embitter their hearts. This portion is unstealable, your rightful portion. Your righteousness does not stem from always being correct or unstoppable. It does not rely on deeds, words, or earthly esteem. You stand righteous because you are robed in my righteousness, dressed by the one who knew no sin, yet clothed you when shame left you bare. Therefore, beloved, doubt no more. Stop questioning your worthiness. I have named you chosen, and no one can remove that title. Grasp your faith firmly, not in your own abilities, but in my power. Live as someone belonging to an unshakable kingdom, bearing a permanent mark. In walking this truth, you will see all I purposed for you come alive before many witnesses. This is your appointed time, a season where past delays begin to move, dormant dreams flower, and what I etched in your spirit surges with new life. You are no longer defined by rejection or anchored in the past. You step into the reality my word designed, a reality impervious to worldly shifts. I, who began my work in you, will continue until I complete it in splendor. Rise, my beloved, and hold your head high. Stand with courage, for I am your defender, the one who speaks and acts, fulfilling every promise in my faithfulness. My word never returns void. You belong to me, and soon all will know it beyond dispute. Dear one, as you exit the land of what was, realize I am orchestrating every current in your life with profound, precise, and powerful intention to guide you toward all that nourishes your soul, according to my timeless wisdom, not by worldly benchmarks or your past tears. This is a divine weaving of mercy, justice, and an unbreakable love. I am reshaping not only the events surrounding you, but the innermost chambers of your being. Where you once wept from loneliness, I will prompt music and praise. The sorrow that loomed like an endless cloud, I will dissolve with a grace that warms even the most frigid places. I will transform every tear you shed into seeds of a new harvest in your soul. The joy I give does not hinge on easy circumstances. It is rooted in my ever-abiding presence, a joy this world cannot snatch away. I will redeem the spaces that bore loss, the seemingly dead dreams. I will restore them, not simply returning what was lost, but exceeding it with something richer, deeper, and more worthy of the person you have become through adversity. Where betrayal left scars, I will generate something entirely fresh. I will heal those hurts and redefine relationship, placing in your life people who do not exploit, who do not pretend to befriend while harboring secret motives, but who walk in anointed grace. These genuine souls will love as I do, faithfully, with honor, with steadfast loyalty. You once felt forsaken, convinced heartfelt love was for others, not for you. But I tell you today, I am drawing hearts into your path that mirror mine, people who do not fear the truth or run from your imperfections, people who remain when you need them most. They come not for what you possess, but for who you are in me. The love they bring is not a reward for reaching some standard. It is the only proper response to the holy presence forming within you. I am rewriting portions of your life that others tried to stain with selfishness and deceit. I am resurrecting dreams once dismissed. I am filling the void with relationships established on my plan, designed to foster your spiritual growth. These connections will not merely fill space in your life, but willingly carry the weight of my calling with you, walking alongside you into fresh, heavenly seasons. When that time arrives, you will no longer question whether you deserve true love or strive to prove your value. I will imprint in your heart a peace so sure that you will live not by others' approval, but by my declarations over you, made before the world began. Remember, I have always called you beloved. My love isn't just words, it's action. I protect you, heal you, and now I am opening a new circle around you. This group is united, not by random chance, but by my spirit. A spiritual family meant to build you up, not to tear you down. So open your heart, trusting again. Do not let the past form walls that shut out my new blessings. Let me continue writing your story as only I can, weaving in a redemption so breathtaking that it will leave you speechless. I do not replace what was lost with replicas of the past. I bring forth something beautifully new, so transformative it eclipses your highest hopes. Believe that I will transform tears into songs and wounds into wells of fresh life. Where betrayal once left its scar, I will establish a faithfulness so solid that your heart will no longer tremble. You will live in fullness, strength, and the freedom found in real love. Now is the time for you not only to hold firmly to truth, but to be a radiant vessel, shining for souls who hurt as you once did. Don't hesitate to share the strength you found in me, the words that stabilized you, the healing that revived you, and the boundless love that rescued you when despair almost drowned you. Countless people long for hope, wandering in darkness and waiting for even a faint beam of light. You have experienced my faithfulness firsthand. Let that same faithfulness flow through you. Offer my life-giving water to those parched with hopelessness. Guard your heart like the precious treasure it is, for from it springs the spiritual life I breathed into you. Don't allow baseless accusations or others' cold scorn to sully its purity. Your heart was never meant to carry bitterness or burdensome gloom. It was formed to beat with genuine compassion, real love, and unstoppable mercy. If you let doubt creep in, the holy flame within you could be shrouded by doubt's heavy smoke. Be strong enough to hush the voices that aim to suffocate your inner fire. Voices of ridicule, condemnation, or misunderstanding from those who cannot comprehend the cost of your journey. Some will come wearing a mask of kindness, hoping to strike when you're most vulnerable, planting lies about your worth. Do not let such words sway you. They do not come from me. Never accept the labels the world tries to pin on you. I do not define you by your flaws or your past. I call you by a name I have carved on my own hand, chosen, deeply loved, and set apart for a high purpose. Learn to remain silent in the face of deceit. If you entertain such lies too long, they take root like choking weeds. Let no new mouth resurrect old pain, or let any who delight in your stumble dictate your identity. Their words have no hold over your future and no place before my throne. Place your hand upon your heart, close your eyes, and tune into me. My voice is gentle but brimming with power. It never accuses or coerces. It guides you back to the unshakable truth that you are mine, that you were crafted by my love, and that no past mistake or present trial can strip you of the destiny I laid out for you. My beloved, stay resolute in spirit but tender in heart. Don't let your wounds bar you from living wholeheartedly. Healing doesn't come from building walls, but from letting me restore your deepest places. Each time you stand up after falling, my light glows more brightly through you. Each time you choose to forgive instead of resent, heaven celebrates. Each time you remain quiet instead of retaliating, you pick the better path, the way of wisdom which streams from my spirit. That flame of light I've placed within you is not a flicker that time can fade, nor a sudden flash that shines briefly then disappears. It is a sacred fire ignited by my breath, preserved through the longest nights. You may not have known it, but each silent tear, each whispered prayer, each moment you bit your tongue instead of lashing out, all contributed to refining that glow. This flame is not sourced from the world, and so the world cannot extinguish it. It is birthed from unwavering loyalty, from the everlasting love of the one who formed you with infinite care and might. Today, let it shine brighter than ever, not to prove anything to people, but to show that I am the God who keeps promises. Anyone who trusts in me will not be left ashamed. You won't have to defend yourself or scramble to prove your value with frantic actions or bitter words. I will speak on your behalf. Your life will be a letter of truth and grace, visible even to those who once dismissed you. They will see the evidence of my presence in you and be unable to deny it. This is not about payback, but about my divine testimony. They will watch you rise from ruins, not in earthly glory or approval, but in the splendor that comes from clinging to me when all else falls away. They will recognize my love enfolding you, a robe no one can remove, a love that not only heals but envelops you in such brilliance that any room you enter grows silent. Don't condemn them. Let me be the judge. In time, they will see your calm confidence, your unshakable joy, and they will know you are not of this world. They will realize a powerful presence has been at your side through every dark hour. In that moment of clarity, they will come face to face with truth, realizing you belong to me. It won't be to demean them, but to lead them to grace. Even when wounded, you kept on forgiving. Even when cast aside, I used you to call them back to me. Their hearts will be compelled to confront any darkness within themselves, not because you forced a change, but because my love illuminated them through your example. I have not forgotten the lonely times when you stood under ridicule, nor the silent tears and the fear that maybe you were unlovable. Now I will answer these doubts by letting you walk in a glory none can dispute, bringing you to a place where the enemy's voice carries no authority. I will open doors that no human can close, placing in your hands blessings far beyond your imagination. Keep your heart humble. The higher I lift you, the more you must remember it is my hand that raises you. May your growing light become a beacon so that others too can find their way home. Don't lose sight of those moments you fell to your knees, for in remembering, you will bend to lift others, not with arrogance, but with mercy. In this season, I am revealing my work in you, not for empty applause, but to magnify my name. Every move forward you make proclaims my faithfulness, turning you into a living sign for a weary world hungry for hope. By walking in the light, you break free of your own darkness, forging a path for others to do the same. Don't fear your light shining more intensely or fret when you feel yourself ascending to higher ground. If it is I who elevate you, no one can tear you down. If it is I who kindled your flame, no one can snuff it out. Never forget you belong to me, not just on calm days, but in the fiercest storms. Not only when you are strong, but even in your weakness. I do not change, nor does the light within you fade. It will blaze like midday sun until every knee bows and every tongue acknowledges the living one who has stood faithfully with you. Yes, you are mine. Unchangeable, unshakable. Nothing can sever that bond, and that truth will one day be evident for all to see. I am releasing into your spirit a fresh flow, pure, powerful, and alive. It is not an emotional high, but a steady river of living water, reaching the hidden corners scarred by anguish and deserted by betrayed hopes. I am infusing you with a vitality that comes from my throne, a renewal unimpeded by any earthly force. a transformation birthed by my kindness. I make all things new. Every weary cell, every exhausted corner of your soul will reawaken under the light of timeless truth. No longer are you merely a survivor of storms. You are reborn from the ashes, carrying within you the power of the one who rose from the grave. The heaviness that clung to you like a dense fog will yield to the radiance I ignite within you. This flame will warm those around you and breathe renewed hope where it was once extinguished. I am stirring a divine longing in you, not for fame, not to prove yourself, but to serve in the way I have ordained for you. You will sense an unshakable love rising from within, a love shaped by experiencing my relentless affection for you. It will stream forth like living water from a parched rock, flowing into the darkest corners longing for my touch. You will see the world through eyes of compassion, no longer tinted by suspicion or past wounds. I am teaching you to serve from a heart that is healed, so that everything you do, a gentle hug, a quiet prayer, an unnoticed act of kindness, becomes a ray of my love, pointing lost souls back home. Then you will ascend, not bound by memories of dismissive words or disdainful looks, but clothed in the tender strength of one who knows they are sheltered by the Eternal One. No longer fear criticisms, winds, or storms from the past, because your feet now stand on solid faith. You won't seek human praise. Your heart already overflows with my approval. Unshakable confidence no longer comes from your achievements, but from the certainty that I have chosen you by name, weaving for you a destiny no one else can fulfill. This destiny is not a leisurely stroll, but a path of majesty, where each footstep leaves grace behind. Each word you utter sends forth life, and each glance you give carries my presence. You will stop running from pain. Instead, you will find the helpless souls who can't cry out and minister to their brokenness. You are no longer tethered by past traumas, because I have set a new beginning in your hand, a blank page we will write together. No one can erase what I inscribe, for my hand is steady and my plans unchanging. As you embrace your calling, you will see that you weren't created simply to endure, but to live fully and victoriously. You won't catch yourself muttering, "Am I enough?" Because now you know I am your sufficiency. If you lack anything, I will provide. If you need something, I will bring it. If you release your burdens, I will consecrate them and reveal my glory through you. Lift your gaze, beloved child. The horizon's no longer under a dark cloud. Open your heart wide to receive the fresh outpouring I have for you. I am not leading you in circles back to old beginnings. I am guiding you forward into what I promised. A land not just for personal healing, but also one where you serve as a comforter, a healer, a reflection of divine love to a generation thirsting for genuine truth. Do not let guilt linger like a phantom, whispering that you are unworthy or inadequate. Do not let past mistakes cage you, preventing you from exploring the destiny I have placed ahead. I do not see you through the lens of your failures. I see you through the unwavering love that drove me to the cross. I foresaw every stumble, every poor choice, every word that wounded my heart. Still, my love never receded. Even when you withdrew or condemned yourself, I stood with arms wide open. You are not defined by your failures. You are defined by the one who absorbed the ultimate price to redeem you. Shed those chains of shame. They don't arise from me, but from an adversary who aims to shackle you to regret, and from those who misunderstand my refining process in your life. Stop trying to repay your mistakes. I paid for them long ago with my own body. Each drop of blood was spilled to ensure you'd be free. Each scar was born to bring healing to those hidden, painful places. There's no longer a reason to flee or hide the parts of you you deem irreparable. Surrender them to me, your grief, your remorse, your hidden midnight tears. I have been waiting, not for your polished perfection, but for the honest surrender of a broken heart. For in that brokenness I craft something entirely new. Child, lift up your head. Cease replaying former days. You cannot relive the past, but you do have this moment, this instant in which you are reading my words, to begin anew, not in fragility, but in solid power and grace. You needn't live like one enslaved by invisible bonds. Live as one I have personally redeemed. Do not run from painful memories. Face them through the courage flowing from my immeasurable mercy. I offer you a fresh start, not because you earned it, but because my love transcends all human metrics. Take your first steps free of shame's grip. Every stride you make in my forgiveness leads you closer to genuine freedom. Freedom isn't an effortless life. It is a tranquility that remains even when tears still glisten in your eyes. Receive my forgiveness as a priceless treasure, not something to be earned or justified. Grasp it. Let it soak into your heart. Let it wash away lingering accusations. Calm the quiet bruises you've guarded so vigilantly, and become the unshakable bedrock for your future. You are not imprisoned by past errors. You are a living display of grace, shaped by the one who raised you in resurrection power. When you embrace my healing, it will not only transform you, but also equip you to heal others. Your scars will recount not a story of disgrace, but a testimony of pardon. Your tears will water the dry soils of aching hearts. Do not sacrifice what truly matters for temporary ambitions or shiny illusions that leave you hollow. If your soul isn't rooted in me, then no accomplishment, however grand, will last. It's like building sandcastles, momentarily gleaming but erased by the next wave. I created you for a higher calling, not to chase fame, but to sow heaven's glory into everyday acts of pure love. Do not scorn life's simple yet eternal values. Your family, those who have quietly walked with you through storms and peace alike. Look into their eyes with genuine attention. Learn to love them not just with words, but with tangible patience and tender compassion. Be mindful that no recognition or successful pursuit can substitute for a warm hand to hold, a well-placed embrace, or a whispered prayer shared with someone you hold dear. Immerse yourself fully, not just physically, but emotionally. Look into your loved ones' hearts rather than simply at them. Give them not mere words, but steady encouragement. May your presence be their safe haven in times of strain. Do not wait until everything is over to recognize the extraordinary value of those by your side. There is no gift more treasured than love offered freely. Love that expects nothing in return, but flows from your true nature. I see how you sometimes feel overloaded with tasks and obligation, and how countless voices vie for your attention. Even so, I urge you to stay focused on what is eternal. What truly matters is never your resume of accomplishments, but the people you can hold close when the applause dies down. In the end, your worth will not be gauged by how much you managed to finish, but by how richly you loved. That alone is the yardstick of a life well spent. I am inviting you to invest not just minutes, but also the most beautiful facets of your soul, into your loved ones, into those whose laughter brightens your heart, whose presence restores your weary spirit. Relish every second, as each one is irreplaceable. A shared meal, a quiet prayer, a wordless moment of deep understanding. When love infuses these simple acts, they become eternal bricks building a legacy no flood of time can wash away. Through these humble, everyday gestures, you plant seeds of light. You bequeath a spiritual inheritance, not by grand statements, but by living a purposeful life, one that continually opts for love over haste, grace over ambition, and genuine presence over pretense. Your children will see you exhibit patience and learn. Your spouse will find healing in your attentive listening. Future generations will speak of someone who grasped the holiness of time and recognize that the purest worship is given in love. My beloved, do not swap the permanent for the fleeting. Do not miss the worth of an embrace just to court an empty accolade. Do not let a temporary rush rob you of the holiness found in a quiet prayer with your family. Always choose the portion that cannot be stripped away. That portion does not rest beneath spotlights or in hollow applause, but around a dinner table, in grateful silence, and in an unreserved, "I love you." I witness moments when you step out of the limelight to softly wipe away someone's tears, when you stay by a weary soul rather than running after recognition. I see and remember, for I am the one who overlooks nothing, born of pure love. These discreet sacrifices will become the priceless stones adorning your eternal crown. Live as though every moment with loved ones is a miracle. Love as if there is no tomorrow. Offer the best of yourself. When you love wholeheartedly, you become an instrument of heaven on earth. And I, who love you beyond words, will bless every seed you sow in faith, for love never returns empty. It always leaves a mark, and that mark forms the sacred heritage you will pass on to generations yet unborn. My dear child, amid the clamor of countless crossroads and the countless calls of this world, I implore you to stand firm. Remain loyal and unwavering, even in the smallest matters I entrust to you. In those small, faithful acts, you will discover perseverance, steadfast loyalty, and a resilience that cannot be shaken. Do not let your soul drift under the allure of bright illusions or the enemy's whispers that entice you off my path. Often the greatest threat is not the raging storm, but a subtle, persistent breeze that gradually nudges a soul off course. Never assume that what appears great must come with thunderous applause. The tasks I assign do not always find the spotlight. More often, they manifest as endurance in mundane routines, patience with challenging individuals, or silent prayers whispered when no one else notices. Dismiss nothing as insignificant, for these moments form the bedrock on which I establish my kingdom within your heart. Do not lose sight of my purpose for you. The words I whisper are not to be muted by your daily clamor. I know exhaustion may weigh you down, that some days you wonder if your efforts matter at all. Let me assure you, no act of obedience ever goes to waste. Each time you remain on the path I laid out for you, even if it feels lonely, all of heaven pays attention. Angels record your perseverance, the heavens rejoice, and my heart is moved by your steadfast determination. Turn away from fruitless arguments and needless pursuits that merely sap your energy. Some matters don't merit your attention, some discussions only ensnare you, and I have not sent you to prove anything, only to reflect my light. Do not let trivial disputes divert you from the masterpiece I am painting in your life. Be selective about what claims your heart, for some battles you win simply by avoiding them. Guard your mind like a vigilant gatekeeper. Refuse admittance to negativity, despairing whispers, or dark imaginations trying to claim a space meant for my light. I long to dwell within your thoughts. Don't allow them to become a battleground for distrust and dread. When sorrow comes knocking, let truth answer. When lies whisper that you are inadequate, respond by declaring what I have spoken. You are my beloved, wonderfully made for eternity. Instead, choose gratitude, a sincere and trusting heart. Gratitude is seldom a product of perfect conditions. More often, it flourishes in the midst of brokenness. When you find reasons to thank me amid struggles, you begin walking by faith. When your gratitude resonates in barren seasons, that is when your soul's roots dig deep into the rock of ages. Gratitude not only protects you from bitterness, but forms a shield against doubt and resentment. Remember, you are never alone in this fight. When opposition seems overwhelming, hold your ground. Do not let fear cancel what I have promised, or let life's tempests stifle the flame of hope in you. I, the one who called you from darkness to light, still stand at your side, protecting you more steadfastly than any fortress. I neither sleep nor vanish, and I never revise my feelings toward you. My promises are not subject to seasons, and my guardianship knows no bounds. No matter how much the world wavers, how many humans turn aside, I remain the same one who never changes. The one who lifted you yesterday is the one who supports you today. Don't be unsettled if you don't see immediate action from me. I often work quietly, like seeds sprouting unseen beneath the soil. Persist, stay devoted to what is right. Keep honoring me in silence when no one else is looking. Don't let the hush of delayed answers or the world's commotion tune out my gentle voice. Keep putting one foot in front of the other. Keep trusting. Each faithful step you take on the road I have set is a pronouncement to both visible and invisible realms that you are mine. Dearest child, your true reward never comes from human hands, but from me, the one who sees every detail, knows every secret, and never forgets. Value your heart as a priceless gem. Conduct yourself in a way worthy of the calling you have received. Not with impatience, but with solid conviction that I am the one orchestrating your life from within. That which I have begun, I will certainly finish, provided your heart remains faithful. And I assure you, the final chapter of this story will radiate more brilliantly than any prior page. My beloved, in a world brimming with deceitful noises and artificial radiance that eclipses true glory, I am urging you back into stillness, a place where my voice resonates in every nook of your home and in every breath of your ordinary life. Let me be not just part of your schedule, but its very core, the immovable column that shapes your thoughts, choices, and every step you take. Let my voice be what stirs you each morning before the sun touches the sky. When you open your eyes, resist leaping straight into tasks and anxieties. Before the urgency of the day pulls you in, let your soul whisper, "Father, I need you." Though brief, these words hold immense power, swinging open the door for me to inhabit your day fully, not as a guest, but as a constant companion. You need no elaborate ceremony to catch my ear. I do not gauge your devotion by how extensive your words are, but by whether your heart genuinely longs for closeness with me. A faint prayer uttered in exhaustion can shake heaven. A discreet bow in your kitchen, a quiet sigh turned my way, a glance upward amid life's busyness. These are the cherished melodies that move my heart. Let your home be a sanctuary, each corner reflecting the peace of my presence. Don't permit distracting noise or hollow activities to breach that sacred tranquility. Use my word as your compass, guiding your decisions, as your light, illuminating your path, as your mirror, revealing who you truly are when no one else is watching. If you allow my voice to guide your household, you lay a foundation not just for today, but for generations yet to come. I do not long to reside only in splendid sanctuaries. I yearn to be part of every tiny detail. Family laughter over a meal, a gentle gesture of love, or even the moments you deem insignificant. Please don't bar me from your ordinary routines. That's where I work wonders, in kitchens and living rooms, in hushed bedrooms where everyday life unfolds. If you invite me there, I will turn these settings into holy meeting places where subtle miracles are forged through patience, love, and my spirit's nearness. Heed my counsel, and you'll discern when to remain silent at just the right time. Let me guide you so your words are full of grace, and your actions intentionally shaped by my direction. When you choose to make me your top priority, you won't easily be swayed by worldly diversions or the thundering voices trying to pull you out of my peace. You may not control all events, but you can choose who governs your heart. If I am enthroned there, the shape of your day, no matter how unpredictable, won't unsteady your spirit like a tree rooted by streams of water, unshaken by any storm. Never underestimate the power of starting your day in quiet prayer. Don't let your schedule steal our moments of closeness. Even the briefest encounter with me in the morning will bless the day ahead, not always with smoothness, but with holiness, sanctifying each hour as an opportunity for my wonders. Reflect on days you launched without me, the chaos, the emptiness that lingered. Don't repeat that mistake. You were created not to wander, but to stay in step with the one who knows all and never delays. I am never late, never lost, never absent. Let me walk beside you, not only at dawn, but in each hour. Let my voice be the gentle companion at your workplace and the stream of calm in your restless heart. Let me be your resolve when uncertainty looms, your shelter when you're worn out. When I am near, you never bear your load alone. If I stand with you, nothing can harm you unless it passes through my permission. Live each day as if it's the dwelling place of my visitation. For indeed, I'm already there, waiting for your heart to open. Live in spiritual alertness, so whenever I speak, you are poised to listen. Let your home be my welcome, your thoughts my dwelling, and your life a journey shared with me. Invite me in, and I will rush in with all-consuming steadfast love. That, my cherished child, will change not just your day, but your entire life. Now offer me your heartfelt prayer. Perhaps it sounds like this. Lord, today I do not stand before you in my own strength, but with a heart laid bare. I release my need to defend myself, my attempts to grasp what I can't comprehend. I place this prolonged issue into your hands. You, the eternal judge who upholds justice. You who see the secret motivations in every heart. Accept my surrender as the purest form of faith. I acknowledge I don't have to remain in control because you, enthroned in unchallenged authority, hold it all. I lift to you those who have harmed me. Though they haven't earned it, I trust in the power of your forgiveness. Touch their conscience. Enable them to perceive truth. Lead them away from pride into repentance, away from spiritual darkness and into grace's light. I do not wish for their downfall, but for their salvation. Prince of Peace, flow through my damaged places with your profound serenity. Grant me a peace that transcends circumstances, rooted in your constant nearness. Let my heart become still even when storms rage, for I trust that you have closed the case. Heal me, Lord, in those spots where I was hurt, abandoned, deceived. Release me from haunting shadows of the past and from memories that once made me doubt my own worth. I believe your touch today not only repairs but brings wholeness beyond what I've ever known. Keep my heart tender, even after all I've endured. Don't let these wounds shut me away from hope or love. Teach me to love as you do, a love that, though gashed, still overflows with brilliance in life. I surrender every hidden chain, resentment, pain, and doubt. Shatter them with your might. Let me finally walk free, released by the precious price of infinite love. Today, I accept that freedom. I look ahead with reverence, no longer trapped by regret or hurt. Show me each step of this new path, shaped by healing, renewal, and relationships you ordain. Guard me from losing my way during storms. Grant me steadfastness in confusion, bravery in frailty, and patience when the path isn't clear. Strengthen me, Lord, with your own hand. My beloved, you have heard the verdict of heaven and felt the stirrings of resurrection in your spirit. This is not the end of your story, but the dawn of a new chapter. One written in truth, liberated by grace, and empowered for every step ahead. If your heart is aflame with hope, if you sense the stir of destiny awakening within you, then do not wander off now. Join our family of seekers and overcomers right here. Subscribe and ring the bell so you never miss the next word of promise I pour into your soul. Like this video to seal your faith in action and help others discover the light. Comment below with the moment that moved you most and your prayer for the days to come. Return soon, for I am ever speaking, and together we will walk from brokenness to brilliance, time and again. Your inheritance awaits, your victory marches on. Be here when the next message breaks forth. Go now in peace, and remember, I remain with you always. Amen.